The United Nations just issued a strong warning to Chile and other countries that deny abortion in all cases. And they said, look, you're actually violating international human rights. Like, we're not taking this lightly. You're violating human rights by banning all abortion and by enforcing all these draconian laws. So what's the damage and why did they step in? Well, according to Think Progress, there are, quote, 150,000 underground illegal abortions every year in Chile. Damn, 150,000 underground abortions. That's way more than I would have guessed. There was also an 11-year-old girl who was denied an abortion, and that put her in danger of losing her life. Unsurprisingly, if you're 11 and you're pregnant. In Senegal, this is another place where they've banned all abortion. A 10-year-old rape victim was denied an abortion. But there's more. Quote, in El Salvador, a dying 22-year-old woman was recently denied the right to a life-saving abortion even though her fetus was missing a brain and had no chance of surviving outside of the womb. In Ireland, a 31-year-old woman died after being denied an abortion in a Catholic hospital, and numerous doctors have confirmed that being allowed to terminate her pregnancy would have saved her life. In the Dominican Republic, a 16-year-old pregnant teen died after her doctors refused to give her chemotherapy treatment because it may have harmed her fetus. And across the entire globe, an estimated 47,000 women die each year because they lack access to safe, legal abortion care. That is a stunning number. 47,000 women die every year because certain places outright banned abortion in all cases. Look, the bare minimum that these countries should do, and this is what the United Nations is pleading for here, the bare minimum they should do is allow abortion in cases of rape, incest, if the life of the mother is in jeopardy, and if there is a fatal fetal defect, and there's no way the fetus is going to survive no matter what you do. If you don't allow abortion in those cases, you're just being stupid. You're just being irrational. You know, this is the problem with such strong black and white thinking, such zero tolerance, all or nothing thinking, is you inevitably become absurd. So, for example, look at the flip side of this scenario. When people argue, well, you should be able to have an abortion until a second, before you give birth, well, very few people argue that, and very few people argue that for a reason. Because the fetus is totally viable, and in 3 seconds it would be a human, but what are you going to do, shove scissors in its head and kill it? No. Very few people are in favor of that, because that's so extreme as to be insane, right? Well, by the same token, the opposite extreme is just as bad. The idea that you should never, ever, 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 even in cases of rape and incest, and if the life of the mother is in danger, and if the fetus is already dead, to say no to an abortion in those cases, you're not pro-life. You're pro-stupidity. 47,000 women are dying because of your dumbass. And usually it's tied to religion. These are the same people who say, well, no, it's because of God. God is pro-life, and I'm on the side of God, and we are the moral ones, and blah, 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 blah. And, of course, that's simply not true, because usually these people are Christians, and they don't even know what's in the Bible. As I've detailed for you guys before, it is a fact that the Bible is not against abortion. There's one part of the Bible where God goes through Samaria and rips the fetuses out of the pregnant ladies' stomachs. That would be God performing abortions, okay? There's another part of the Bible where God says that a woman who is suspected of cheating should drink the bitter water. The bitter water is poison water. And if it makes you miscarry, you cheated and you're supposed to have an abortion. If you don't miscarry, then, the fetus is your husband's and you can carry it to term. There is abortion in the Bible, okay? They don't even know what's in the Bible, but they're pretending it's pro-life and against abortion, which, again, they're not even pro-life because of their policies, 47,000 women die every year. It's time to stop the madness. The answer on this issue of abortion is not in the extremes. The answer is in the moderate middle. And that's what the policy is in the United States of America, especially in the progressive states in the United States of America. And it makes perfect sense. Here's the perfect compromise: Roe versus Wade. What did they decide in Roe versus Wade? Well, it's all the woman's choice up to 23 weeks or so. And then after that, the state can regulate abortion as they see fitting. And I get it, man. After 23 weeks, you better have a damn good reason. It better be, rape, incest, life of the mother, or the fetus is already dead. But before then, it's all the woman's choice. Because after 20 to 23 weeks, the nervous system develops, and then it's more of a moral question. But before then, it's all about reproductive health and reproductive rights, because there's literally no pain, and it's all the mother's choice. Okay? And look, 98% of all abortions happen before 23 weeks, and 90% happen before 13 weeks, when we're dealing with embryos and zygotes and gametes and pre-gestation fetuses, and it's not... The idea that that's murder, which is what these countries say, is fucking bananas. I mean, you're cuckoo-cuckoo if you believe that, man. You're just so out there as to not even be able to have a serious conversation. So they need to reverse this policy. The UN is finally recognizing that and talking about that. And again, facts are stubborn things, man. Did you know that places that have banned abortion actually have more abortion? And those abortions are, of course, underground, and women die because they get infected, and they use coat hangers, and all these horrible, horrible things happen. And, of course, those are the same places that say no condoms, no pill, no, actual family planning and education and clinics, et cetera, et cetera. You got to stop the madness. You got to do sex education. You got to have clinics available. You have to have contraceptives available. You have to have the pill available. And you have to have abortion available some of the time with a moderate policy. If you're against that, whether or not you realize it, you're in favor of 47,000 women dying every single year.